We had a game plan, and you know, a lot of times when he says certain things on social media, I say, he's to me, he's still a kid, and when I was that age, I probably would have did the same thing. I didn't have a Floyd Mayweather to stand behind me and tell me, about what's right and what's wrong.
Like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't fault him for stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So it's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think when I be tweeting on Instagram.
We do know.
Look over there and left. Shut up. Nice.
It has turned out to be one of the most unexpected and shocking moments in boxing, something no one anticipated. As Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis officially ended their feud ahead of Tank's upcoming rematch with Lamont Roach, the draw against Roach truly humbled Davis. It ultimately led to a reconciliation between him and Mayweather after their heated fallout last year. Much like his visit to Shocker Stevenson's training camp before the February bout, Floyd Mayweather also made an appearance at Gervonta Davis' camp ahead of his next fight.
I appreciate him. I appreciate him for what he done, because he did, he did help me out. He definitely helped me out, but it was more so
Tank vents out on social media. He's been through a lot, throughout his life. But I take my hat off to him. I'm proud of him.
The two met and spoke for a while. Afterward, Floyd watched Davis train and spar with other fighters before eventually leaving the gym. As he stood nearby, a reporter asked him about his thoughts on the first fight between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, especially the moment when Tank took a knee. "We know what the rules say, and yes, Tank was fortunate that night," Floyd responded. "But what's done is done. Tank is an incredible fighter, and he's going to prove himself in the rematch."
Like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I don't fault him for stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing, like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So it's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think when I be tweeting on.
This is yet another detail that feels like more than just coincidence in their reunion. The fact that Gervonta Davis continues to follow in Floyd Mayweather's footsteps. Early in his career, Davis was even dubbed the next Floyd Mayweather, and it's easy to see why. Both he and Mayweather experienced a similar knee issue during their fights and often avoided being tested on the scorecards. Opponents have consistently struggled to deal significant damage to Mayweather, who has only been knocked down once in his entire professional career, and even that knockdown didn't come from a truly threatening punch.
Wait a second. And it's called the knockdown. And is something wrong with the left hand?
In May 2001, Floyd Mayweather stepped into the ring to face Carlos Hernandez in an effort to defend his World Boxing Council super featherweight title. At just 25 years old, Money was looking to make the 8th successful defense of his title. Despite being a rising star at the time, he experienced a strange moment during the fight. Taking on El Salvador's Carlos El Famoso Hernandez for both the Lionel and WBC super featherweight crown, Mayweather appeared to be in control. However, in the 6th round, he received an 8-count not because Hernandez knocked him down, but because Mayweather voluntarily took a knee. Interestingly, he hadn't suffered any significant damage from his opponent at that point in the fight.
Floyd Mayweather. We're not exactly sure why. Just the pain from his hand? Now Floyd let the left hand go.
However, Mayweather appeared to be in pain after taking the knee. He began signaling to his corner, suggesting something was wrong with his left hand. Despite the apparent injury, Mayweather continued to fight and ultimately secured the victory. Although the knockdown was scored in Hernandez's favor, Mayweather still won convincingly on the judges' scorecards. He was immediately deducted a point, but it didn't matter to the champion, who picked up the pace and secured a unanimous decision at the Van Andel Arena in Michigan. The Mayweather-Hernandez fight, you guys should watch that one, recalled. Terrence Crawford, one of the biggest stars in world boxing, takes a knee because something's wrong with his hand. He points it out. It wasn't from a punch.
A one-armed bandit, though, tonight. Hold on to his title. Instead, he seems absolutely perplexed. The big right hand's landing now by Mayweather.
The winner by unanimous decision and still the...
Just as Gervonta Davis spoke about Mayweather supposedly wanting him to lose, he went on to record the first draw of his career, a situation Mayweather himself has never experienced. Yet it now seems Mayweather is having the last laugh, especially after Davis's major setback. While Davis is working to bounce back, it's widely acknowledged that this draw is a significant blow to his reputation in the boxing world.
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the say Terrence Crawford should fight Benavidez? They don't make no sense. You don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
You next in line. This one, you next in line.
Is there like
The last question, guys. Got
is there like a love-hate or like
yeah,
fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna lie.
In
one of Gervonta Davis's latest interviews
Terrence made some
with Jay
shocking
Hill,
revelations.
he made some shocking
One
revelations.
Of the most controversial claims
well,
was about
one of the
Floyd
most
Mayweather,
controversial
where he
ones was on
exposed the
Floyd
truth behind some
Mayweather,
wild
where he
incidents
revealed the
between
truth
them.
behind some
He
crazy
alleged
happenings
that
between
Mayweather
him
had
and Floyd Mayweather.
always wished for him
He
to
claimed
suffer a
Mayweather
loss.
has always wanted a loss for him. Sadly,
Floyd
Mayweather
nearly
came
got
close to
his
having his
when
wish for
Gervonta
Gervonta Davis
came close to
fulfilled.
defeat.
Of course,
As
Floyd didn't
expected,
keep quiet, and he
Mayweather
was set
didn't
to
remain
distract
silent
Gervonta Davis
and
from
appeared
his
to
world
attempt to
title fight
distract
one more
Davis from
time
his world
before
title
they
fight
reunited.
once. Again, just before their eventual reunion.
Well, my thing is, I've always been there for him from day one. We had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion and take things to that next level.
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the say Terrence Crawford should fight Benavidez? They don't make no sense. You don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
You next in line. This one, you next in line.
Is there like
The last question, guys. Got
is there like a love-hate or like
Yeah,
fighter?
yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna.
But here's what really happened. Boxing star Gervonta "Tank" Davis was once a protégé of boxing legend Floyd Mayweather. However, the two are no longer on speaking terms. They had a very public fallout, one that Davis moved on from, emerging not only as a better fighter, but also as a bigger star, both in America and globally. While speaking on the Mr. J. Hill podcast, Davis opened up about what really went down between him and Mayweather.
In a lose-lose situation now. What came out still on top.
With Floyd? You said, what was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
Just a little situation that he put me in to, make me lose. But he thought I was gonna lose.
You talking about like a boxing match or?
Yeah, boxing match.
Who, if you don't mind? If you don't want to, it's fine.
Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 21 at the time, and I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months. And around that time,
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the say Terrence Crawford should fight Benavidez? They don't make no sense. You don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
You next in line. This one, you next in line.
Is there like
The last question, guys. Got
is there like a love-hate or like fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like, I ain't gonna.
Once you get close to someone you look up to like Mayweather, you start to realize they're not who they present themselves to be. It's disappointing and it hurts. So, I decided to go my own way and focus on doing my own thing with Floyd. There were situations where he put me in lose-lose scenarios. Take my first world title fight against Jose Pedraza. For example, I was 16-0, just 21 years old, hadn't fought in 7 or 8 months. and was barely making any money, maybe $10,000 per fight. Then they came back and told me I had to fight him. If I refused, I'd be shelved. At the time, I got evicted and even had to sell my car. I truly believe Floyd did that intentionally. I started telling other boxers what was really happening, giving them games so they wouldn't end up in the same situation. Now, when some of those same guys say they want to fight me, it feels like betrayal.
What else you want to talk about? We got
real quick, Tab. Actually, I just wanted to say I saw Gervonta Davis was in here for a minute. I don't know if he's still in here. I know he has his big
Tank on here.
Yeah, Tank. Tank. Yeah, well, I don't know if he's still on here. I don't know if he's still on here. I don't know. He might have bounced. I don't know. He might have bounced. He was only on for a second. Tank, you want to come in, Tank? Can I bring you in? I would love to bring you in. Only because I know for like the longest Tank has had it.
He added, I respect and appreciate him for what he did. But it felt more like he was giving me crumbs like $10,000 or $15,000 to help my mom get out of the hood. That's not enough. She'd be back in the hood within months, and I'd be asking for more. I learned that some people can put you in a position where you're always dependent on them, feeding you just enough to keep you coming back. When I was signed to the same management as Floyd, they began taking control of my career. Despite all this, boxing legend Mayweather guided Tank through most of his career. Davis went on to win world titles in multiple weight divisions and became widely recognized as one of the most exciting fighters in the sport.
I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like $10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, you know. So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight. He was like, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You sitting on the shelf. So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted. I had to sell my jewelry. So now, and remind you, I'm letting them buy.
The two parted ways in 2022, and since then, their relationship has seemingly turned hostile, with both men exchanging insults over the years. Recently, Davis revealed that his former mentor Mayweather once put him in a fight where he actually wanted Tank to lose. Explaining the situation on the Jay Hill podcast, Davis shared how things unfolded. It's never easy to hear these things, but at least Davis has opened up about what happened with Mayweather and his promotional company. This reopened an old chapter in the turbulent relationship between Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather, one that had never been publicly discussed by either of them, but was brought to light by two of Davis's trainers.
You talking about? I'm putting them on game, letting them know what's going on. Like, see, this was happening. Like, you feel me? I'm letting these guys know. So when it be like people saying they want to fight me, it's
like, how could you, nigga? I was the one that was giving you game when I was going through it.
Yeah,
when I was at the lowest part of my career, I was telling y'all how so you wouldn't have to get to here. And now it's like betrayal almost.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you think Floyd did that intentionally?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why? After so much time, after I guess again, after what we think he helped you come into the game, he gave you the spotlight. Like, why would he try to diminish your career?
If he's like a son to Floyd, why would you put him out? How could you put him out?
It's a different type of beast. That dad coaching stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's emotions in it. You know, that situation, boy, it's heavy, you know.
Biggest fight of his career coming up, and you put him out the gym.
You would hardly hear about the devastating things Floyd Mayweather did to Gervonta Davis and still maintain a positive perception of the boxing legend. In fact, these recent revelations only validate every one of Davis's negative feelings toward Mayweather. The relationship between boxing superstar Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Gervonta "Tank" Davis once seemed unbreakably often, described like that of a father and son. However, that bond has since unraveled. Davis accused Mayweather of banning him from his gym during training for his 2023 showdown against Ryan Garcia.
I respect him, and I won't say I respect him. I appreciate him. I appreciate him for what he done, because he did, he did help me out. He definitely helped me out, but it was more so like, he would say that he gave me money to get my mom out the hood, but me being from the hood, 10, 15,000, after a couple months, she gonna be back in the hood, and I'm gonna be back asking you for money. Nah, why would I do that?
Davis officially parted ways with Mayweather. Emotions. In 2022, Mayweather publicly stated that he held no hard feelings about the split. "I'm really not mad about it," he said. "Nothing lasts forever. I will always love Tankai like him, love him, and look at him as a son. Yes, to do what's best for him." However, soon after, Tank began taking digs at the older pugilist.
I give her a couple dollars. I take some, whatever, whenever you need some money. You feel me? But when I was legit to be able to get her out the hood, that's what I did.
Like, I had to learn that coming up, that like, will put you in a position to always need him. And like, to the world, it might look like that's a great person. But like, to somebody to understand, you understand like what Kendrick Lamar say? Nah, that's a master manipulator. Like, cause if I gotta put you in a position that always need me, you always gotta, I'm gonna just give you crumbs. And we hear it a lot. Like, if I'm
Soon after, Davis began openly criticizing his former mentor, accusing him of unresolved financial issues in Dubai. Since then, tensions have only escalated, with both sides trading subtle jabs. Recall when the 29-year-old claimed that Pretty Boy was stuck in Dubai over unpaid debts? From that point, things deteriorated rapidly, sparking widespread speculation about their strained relationship. Davis's coaches have also weighed in. Calvin Ford shared behind-the-scenes details in a clip posted on his Instagram for the latest updates on news, highlights, events, and developments in the world of boxing. Stay connected by subscribing to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you won't miss any quality content like this. Until next time, peace.